So in this lesson, we are going to discuss why spec-driven development is the future of AI development. What is the problem with vibe coding? For those who are familiar with tools like Cursor, Cloud Code, etc., the term vibe coding is usually described as ask what you want to any large language model, they will understand the context and they will provide a solution for what you want to achieve. Most of the times, it will produce code that is with high quality, most of the time, but the more complex the scenario that you need to solve, usually when you give these vague prompts, the AI assistants will not have all the necessary context, and most of the time you will be fixing problems instead of delivering solutions and going to the next feature. So this is why specifications as the source of the truth for me is the solution for this vibe coding problem. Because with the usage of AI, we will create really detailed product and technical specifications, and the spec-driven development states that if it's not in the specifications, the code will not resemble what needs to do. And why this is a game changer from my perspective? Because we now are developing based on a specification, we will always have the latest version of what the system needs to do, and the documentations clearly resembles what the code needs to implement. So all the complaints that we have about, oh, there's no documentation, this is outdated, we will finally fix this problem. And because we created these specifications from both business and technical aspects, we can provide very specific context to the AI agents, and the chances that they will miss some context or will not understand what needs to do and how needs to be done will decrease in great amounts the percentage of errors that we might introduce in our code base. Within this approach, we will spend much more time sharpening the axe, which means we will need to think more deeply about what we need to deliver instead of just going to code, and when you reach an important milestone, you realize that there is a flaw in your design, there is a flaw in your architecture, and you need to rewrite code to a thing that you already deliver or you're about to deliver. So this is something really, really important. And in general, this improves the upstream and downstream process because you will think through since the ideation phase until software delivery. So you will work into all of the steps during this process. And if you don't understand what upstream and downstream is, I will teach you in a few moments later in this course. This is where I introduce to you guys the BMAD method, what it is and why this is important to you as a software developer, engineer, manager, and any other technical role. Because it's a framework in the market that implements this spec-driven development approach. Think about spec-driven as a new paradigm of programming, like functional programming, object-oriented programming. Think it's a new way of thinking about how do you solve problems using technology. And BMAD stands for Build More, Architect Dreams. It was created by a guy named Brian Madison. It's an open source project that the main gotcha of this implementation is simulate an agile way of working, and for every step of this process, we will have a specialist agent that will act as one of these guys. For example, you have an agent to act as a product manager, you have an agent to work as a software architecture, you have an agent to work as a developer itself. Each one has its role, each one has its knowledge, and they will provide you insights and perform some work to you so you can dive deep in the problem that you need to solve, provide the context that you want, and those agents will give you highly professional and high quality outputs that you will use through your development process. And why do you need to use BMAD to implement this spec-driven development approach? Because it eliminates the inconsistencies in planning and the loss of the context, the main problem nowadays when we are dealing with large language models. And where do we use this BMAD framework? Inside IDEs such as Cursor, you can use BMAD in other tools. I will show you in the live demos in the previous sections, but because we are talking about Cursor here, I will demonstrate how to use BMAD inside Cursor.